And you can also see us as we talk about Bet On It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook, the best place in Nebraska to place your sports bets.
How about the guys hitting the portal?
What about the guys hitting the portal?
How much do you think Ryan Williams is going to get paid? And weird. Guess where his destinations are? Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee.
It's shocking.
It's incredible.
I mean, I have no frame of reference.
How about Quarry? Quarry.
I'm sorry?
Iowa.
Oh.
DB.
I have no idea what he's going to get paid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no frame of reference for what the actual money is here.
No, I know. I'm just saying guys that hit the portal.
For sure. But I still like
Jackson Arnold. Jackson Arnold isn't going to have a better situation than what he has right now in Oklahoma.
No, but if it is about relationships, maybe he likes Jeff Lebby about.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point.
But then he does have a better situation because the relationship's better. He may not make more money.
Not always about money.
Right. That's fair. I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I know some people do. And for some guys, it probably is about money, to be fair. Right? Like, there's guys out there that are just trying to get paid.
Yes, Ravi, yes.
And I don't blame them either. It might be a little short-sighted for some of them, but I also understand.
I mean, it's just going to be like this.
Yeah, I also understand for some of these guys, it's the biggest potential for revenue in their entire life. Some of these guys aren't going to play in the NFL, or if they do, they're not going to have second contracts or whatever. This is the most money they're ever going to make in their life, most likely.
Yeah. And
I'm not going to begrudge guys for taking advantage of that. I'm just not going to. When it happens in Nebraska, it kind of sucks, but I get it. If James Williams and maybe whether his is about money or not, that's kind of irrelevant to the situation. But if James Williams is in the portal and somebody's like, hey, yeah, we'll pay you $1 million. And Nebraska's like, we can't pay you $1 million. Or we don't value you at that same number or whatever, right?
You're making that number up.
Yes, these are just easy round numbers. Nebraska says $500,000. Florida State says $1 million. If I'm James Williams, I kind of get it. I do. Irrelevant of the, I've got a relationship with the new D-line coach at Florida State or wherever, right? I do understand for some of these guys.
I like that, young Ravi.
And if that's the decision they're making, okay, I'm fine with that. As long as they know what decision they're making and understanding, the grass may not be greener in every other way, but the green is greener.
So, to Shafe's point, do you go back and just recruit a guy for 1 year if you know, it's going to happen like Ryan Williams?
If I know
because you're not passing on this year, but it didn't get you anything.
No, you didn't get. It got you nothing at all. Some cool highlights, which is great, but
it didn't even get you the college football playoffs.
In the grand scheme of things, it got you nothing. But you probably take that chance. We see this in the NBA all the time, right?
Yes, Ravi.
If the Cleveland Cavaliers are a really good example of this, right? Everybody, when they traded for Donovan Mitchell, they go, well, is Cleveland going to win an NBA title with Donovan Mitchell? No. Does it make them a dramatically better team? Yes. So what's that worth? What if you're not getting the ultimate goal, is that worth anything at Alabama? Is that worth anything in Cleveland? Is that, and I don't know the answer. That's an internal question. If I'm an outsider looking in, I'm like, hey, Cleveland's kind of a fun, good basketball team. I don't know if they can win a title, but it's got to be more fun to be a Cleveland Cavalier fan today than it was before they got Donovan Mitchell, right?
Right.
So that matters on some level. I don't know if that matters to Alabama fans.
Yeah,
I don't know if that matters to Iowa fans if they're losing a safety.
And Williams is already getting it on social media, so we'll see if he stays in the portal.
I don't know if that matters to Missouri fans as they've got a 5-star edge rusher that's coming out.
I get it.
Does that matter to them?
The whole Mosey factor.
Just mosey on over.
I see what you guys are trying to do.
You know what I mean? No, I think it depends on each individual fan base and the things that matter to them. I would imagine if you're Alabama, you're like, okay, if good riddance, you brought us nothing. What's the thing you like to say? We didn't win with you, we can lose without you?
Yeah.
We can miss the college football playoff without.
But that's how I am, though.
No, I get it. But if you're an Alabama fan, you sit there and go, we can miss the college football playoff without you.
I wonder what he decides to do. Because they can match anything.
100%. Maybe he doesn't like Kalen DeBoer. I don't know.
There's some good players leaving Alabama.
And you had this weird thing last year where a bunch of guys left and some of them came back, and like it's been weird dynamics with the roster transitions with the board.
I wonder if good people can win out.
Just the better humans.
Yeah.
Maybe. That was kind of my argument to Shafe.
No, I was captivated listening to that.
I thought you'd like the Vanderbilt example.
I'm listening full well.
Because I would like
I know
I would like that to matter. I personally, if I'm being honest, I would like that to matter. I would like it to matter that being a good person gets you ahead.
Let me give you a hypothetical.
Or at least gives you a chance.
Let me give you a hypothetical.
All right.
God, do I do this? No, I better not.
I mean, you already started.
No. I was going to give you the conversation between Butler and Caleb, but I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I did not.
No, that's okay. I mean,
because so to your point, relationships do matter. But to Shafe's point, you have to know
the kind of person you're dealing with,
your audience,
100%.
So I'm listening to the back and forth, and I was like, ooh, yep, I like Shafe's example. That's Caleb, and I was like, ooh, I like your example because that's Emmett Johnson, right? So it's like,
I think relationships.
It's just one of those things where it's not that I know too much. It's just that
you have a lot of information.
Yeah, and I think both you guys, I could see it.
That's why I asked him about alternative methods, right? Because he's right. Certain programs are going to operate that way. And they're probably
because I do believe if you redshirt Carter Nelson, like they can be mad all they want about the number of games. If they're mad, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But if they just said you're redshirting, like
they'd have been mad about that too.
Yeah. But then you'd have gone somewhere where you weren't going to play anyway.
Right.
At least in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, especially, I mean, it's a big transition.
So people they lose their minds over Malachi Coleman.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah. 100%.
See. You know,
here's my question about a guy like Malachi Coleman or a guy like Carter Nelson, right? Nebraska obviously
those other schools, they're not playing you guys.
Well, so that's kind of my point. Nebraska obviously needed some help in those positions, right? They needed help at wide receiver, at tight end, wherever. Like Nebraska's offense needed some help. They need some playmakers. Nair was struggling at points during the year. Banks was struggling at points during the year. Those are guys that, don't you think if they were good enough to help in those situations, they'd be on the field?
Yeah. Like, listen, you ain't got to tell me.
And, like, not to be disrespectful, Nebraska's 6-6. If Nebraska's coaching staff didn't think they were good enough,
they would do what they had to do to not be 6-6.
Well, right. But also, if they didn't think they were good enough to help out a 6-6 team, you think they're good enough to go help a college football playoff team.
Don't worry.
Like I struggle with the logic there.
So the downside of that for me is I don't want to see kids stuck, but sometimes you get what you ask for. You want to go to Pete or finish the segment?
Let's finish the segment. Pete, hold on. We do have time in the next segment to take your call here. But we can't – logical consistency is sorely lacking in a lot of these conversations.
Does this have anything to do with self-awareness?
100% has to do with self-awareness. Okay. Because you have to understand some of the things that we're talking about are emotional, and some of the things we're talking about we're trying to be logical. But it's hard to be logical about things where we carry a lot of emotion. And so we'll sit here on one side and say, oh, man, it's devastating to lose Tony White, and it's devastating to lose Terrence Knighton.
I don't get like that.
I know you don't, but a lot of the fan base does.
Like somebody just asked me a couple minutes, is Rule screwing this thing up? This doesn't move my needle.
None of this has.
It doesn't move my needle one bit. None of it.
And to my point is,
I'm a big what's supposed to happen will happen.
And to my point with the people kind of getting upset about Knighton or about White or whoever, right? You can't at the same time think the sky is falling that those guys are gone and then question the judgment of what they did while they were here. Either it's a big deal that they're gone or it's not. And if it's a big deal that they're gone, it's because they did well here. So if they were doing well here, then why don't you trust the decisions that were made while they were here? Yeah. Like if you're mad about Terrence Knighton leaving, how can you still be mad that Riley Van Poppel redshirted? Right? How can you be mad about how Keona Davis was handled?
That makes sense.
You know, it makes a little bit of sense, right?
We just totally blew through the bet on it segment because you went on a rant.
I'm going to bet that relationships matter at the end of the day.
I got more winners, man. If you want Indiana.
We will get some winners.
Which cash. Give your boy some love.
We will get some winners in the next segment, and we'll talk to Pete. But that's Bet On It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook. No bets, no glory.